Hello, Nana. Here is your sewer scope from today's inspection. It was nice meeting with you and your family today. There's that clean out access in the utility room that I pointed out earlier. Black plastic ABS pipe, standard for when this house was built. Very typical. Plastic pipe like this and PVC is very smooth on the interior. It's not common that you're going to see stuff grabbing on or build up like you've got to a certain degree in this pipe. So my first takeaway is that this pipe, or at least this length or section of pipe, has not been cleaned in a long while. At this moment, I'm just turning some water on in the utility sink behind me. I want to kind of scrub off or wash off the camera lens so we get a better view than we've got going on right there. Give it a second. It's got to wait for the flow to build up a little bit, and then we'll have a better picture going on. There we go. Much better. I'll keep the water flowing for at least part of the way out. Then I'll end up shutting it down for the return trip. Typical bend. All your connections in this section are good. No issues there. We'll get up another, probably 5-6 feet or so. You can see it up in the distance. We're going to do a transition to cast iron pipe. Metal pipe. This will have fairly normal and expected corrosion. The corrosion levels are maybe a little bit higher just for the simple fact that you've got that retention pond directly behind the house. So the water content in the water, that's a wipe. That's a flushable wipe. Don't flush flushable wipes because they don't break up very easily, obviously. Generally, nothing thicker or heavier or stouter than toilet paper. But back to what I was saying, because the moisture content in the soil around the house is higher, you're going to corrode. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Here's where we stop having visibility. Notice how this is pooling up right here. This basically should not happen. Shouldn't be like this. We are going to go underwater probably for another 20 feet or so before I can't go any further. So as we go underwater, we're in cast iron, which as a general rule, roots are not going to grow through cast iron, right? Because the connection between pipes is tight, it's sealed. Whereas if you had sections of clay pipe, those are just pressure fitted together, and it's relatively easy for roots to grow through that. Okay, so it is possible that we transition from cast iron to clay. And then there's root growth enough where it's grown in on the pipe and it's catching whatever it is, whatever paper product, again, hopefully not flushable wipes, but whatever paper product has been flushed down the toilet, and it's just basically wadded things up and created a dam. I will try for the next minute or so to push my way through this. Sometimes if it's roots, if I can work it just right, I can sometimes knock a hole through it. Um, there wasn't getting anywhere through this, so um, the obvious next step is going to be to have the pipe cleaned out, um, cabled, uh, and then take some next steps after that that I'll write down in your written report. But again, I tried for a good couple of minutes here to try to get through this, and it was obvious that I wasn't going to be able to do that. Oh, I will start to pull back eventually, and I will pause at that beginning part where it was holding water. And you'll see that it's not flowing at all. It's just basically, um, it's just a pool right there. What potentially could happen is that will tend to back up. So instead of 20 feet of line that's holding water, you'll have 25 feet, and then potentially 30 feet, and then 40 feet. Eventually, it'll work itself back where anytime that you flush the toilet or take a shower or whatever, it's going to start to back up um, into your fixtures. So, like the floor drain in the utility room, or um, the shower or bathtub in the basement. Just those drains that are at the lowest level of the house. So again, as I was saying, at this point I've turned most of the water off, or turned the water off. You can see that that's not going anywhere. That's not flowing at all. Uh, there's no reduction in volume to that column of water right there. Um, so again, please do a couple things. One, look at the recommendations on my written reports. Uh, we obviously want to get this cleaned, and then further evaluate the situation, what's going on. And finally, and as always, please reach out to me if you have questions or if you need help with anything.